Fifth round tie between Arsenal and Sheffield United tomorrow is definitely on. The sports governing body FIFA gave its consent tonight. The original game ended 2-1 to Arsenal after two of their players inadvertently broke a tradition of sportsmanship. Our sports correspondent Graham Miller reports.
There was much argument in Zurich, according to FIFA insiders. Senior officials of football's world governing body were anxious not to set a precedent. And it took pressure from Sir Bobby Charlton and Players' Union leader Gordon Taylor, as well as the FA, to win the day. Even then, FIFA's decision, I understand, was far from unanimous.
Questions had been raised, particularly with regard to certain precedents, certain other comparable incidents that had happened in some other countries. Not quite the same, nothing is ever quite the same in football. But it was felt necessary that the Legal Affairs Committee and the Disciplinary Committee, or the bureaus of those two, should take another look at it, just to make sure that everything had been done properly.
The controversy began during Arsenal's fifth-round FA Cup tie with Sheffield United 9 days ago. United were awaiting free possession from a throw-in after injury, but Arsenal's Kanu played the ball to Overmars, who went on to score the winning goal. Arsenal didn't want to reach the quarter-finals in that way and suggested a rematch, which was approved by the FA. But FIFA questioned the FA's authority, leaving their final decision until the last moment. It meant Sheffield United were forced to leave for London several hours ahead of the news. The gate from tomorrow's Highbury sellout is worth £500,000. FIFA are recommending some of the money should now be donated to charity. Graham Miller, News at 10.
In tennis, Britain's two top men, Tim Henman and Greg Ruzetsky, were in tandem tonight, playing doubles at the Guardian Direct Cup in London. They beat the South Africans Piet Noval and Kevin Ulliet in straight sets. But there was some bad news for Ruzetsky today. He dropped one place in the latest rankings to 10th in the world and remains the world number 7. The main headline tonight: the parents of Stephen Lawrence have spent several hours at the Home Office this evening reading the full explosive report into the way the police investigated their son's murder. And finally, London Fashion Week has started, and with the latest in design today came the return of a figure from our parents' or grandparents' time. The chaperone is back, watching young models round the clock and keeping them from the temptations of drink and drugs. Howard Jones reports.
Out on the catwalk tonight, grown-up fashion modelled by some very young women. Linda Taylor is just 15, talented enough to be a rising star, young enough to need a guardian angel watching over her steps. Casting a watchful eye tonight was her chaperone, Becky Southwick, steering Linda out of the path of temptation and on to the next job.
Linda Taylor, she's finished now. She's got to go to Jasper and to Nicole Farey. I know that they're all still going to be there. That's going to be okay, isn't it?
They don't like the description mother hens, but you get the picture. Chaperones keep teenage models like Linda in work and out of the way of trouble. The kind of trouble Kate Moss knows all about. As a teenager, champagne was her standard way of starting a day's work. Little surprise then that model agencies are looking after their young talent, but what exactly does being a chaperone involve?
Being a friend, keeping an eye on her backstage, especially afterwards when there's lots of champagne flowing and so on, making sure she gets into bed nice and early.
40 years ago, in a simpler age, the audience was a little more genteel and the temptations for models few and far between.
I'm going to go and try and find the cab. I think the cab is
But these days, from the catwalk to the cab home, models need a little more protection. Howell Jones, News at 10.
That's News at 10 tonight. We're back tomorrow. From all of us here at ITN, good night.